afternoon. So Pam and I are really honored to be able to present this award because we had a wonderful opportunity of working with one of our nominees for a number of years in adult education.
And you know, a great mentor can have tremendous impact and influence on an individual, even in the most unexpected ways. In fact, believe it or not, the person being mentored may even take on some of the characteristics of the mentor.
That's not what you meant. For Dick's unselfish and inspiring mentorship, we remain extremely grateful. But how does one capture the qualities and characteristics of an effective mentor and explain them? So we've chosen to share these intangibles through a series of our favorite quotes, which we think are very fitting for our nominee, which highlight his spirit.
The greatest good you can do for another is not just to share your riches, but to reveal to her her own.
A lot of people have gone further than they thought they could, because someone else thought they could.
A boss creates fear, a leader confidence. A boss fixes blame, a leader corrects mistakes. A boss knows all, a leader asks questions. A boss makes work drudgery, a leader makes it interesting. A boss is interested in him or herself, a leader is interested in the group.
Don't tell people how to do things. Tell them what to do, and let them surprise you with the results, which I think we did a lot of that, right?
Mentoring is a brain to pick, an ear to listen, and a push in the right direction.
A good leader who talks little, when his work is done, his aim fulfilled, they will say, "We did this ourselves."
Our quotes are over, but the appreciation of so many of us will never be over. From the rookie teacher, to the fresh new administrator, to the newly elected board member, your mentorship and friendship has touched us in extremely positive ways, helping us to be more effective and successful in the roles that we played in Mount Diablo Unified School District. And we thank you. We thank you.
Now, the moment we've all been waiting for, the envelope, and the award for Wonderful Mentor goes to
Dick Alice.
Standing in this afternoon for Mr. Greg Danis, formerly of Miller Brown and Danis, now Danis, Welliver, and Kelly. And Mr. Danis could not make it this afternoon, Dick, because he's down in Hollywood negotiating a really big deal for your next movie. That's why he's not here. But seriously, he asked me to make sure that you know how much he wanted to be here and how much he's appreciated working with you over the years, and that he hopes to be at least half the board member, school board member that you are. I'm here to acknowledge a nominee who has been an advocate for all students, and I really mean all students. This nominee has advocated for students as a teacher, a vice principal, a director of elementary education, a director of adult alternative and continuing education. But this afternoon, I want to highlight his role, his advocacy as a CASA, a court-appointed special advocate. Becoming a CASA volunteer is truly an investment of time, energy, and heart. Big heart. CASA volunteers go through extensive training, learning all about courtroom procedures, social services, the juvenile justice system, and the special needs of abused and neglected children. CASA volunteers are appointed by judges, and they are working in the best interests of abused and neglected children. They do, and they do their work in court and many other settings. They review documents and records. They provide written reports for the courts, and they also explain to the child what is going on in their lives. They recommend services, monitor the case plans and court orders, and keep the court informed. And they really serve as the glue.
Thank you. There must be something happened here that I didn't understand. I received a telephone call inviting me to another of Dick Allen's retirement. And I said, sure, I've gone to all the other ones. And I was told that I would have an opportunity to select a nominee for the Outstanding Leadership Award, but I was not told who I had to select. So I would like to share with you the nominee that I've come up with. I have known him for over 50 years. And if you look on your program, it's already been mentioned, this nominee served in 9 different schools. And after he left, 4 of the 9 were closed and the property was sold. Now that's leadership. I would like to suggest to the existing board that you might want to employ or maybe hire this nominee as a consultant. And if they want to close some schools, send him in there to work for a little bit. Because those other schools were closed without a ripple. So, again, a real sign of this nominee's leadership. After serving at the elementary level as director, he went on to continuing education, as was mentioned, and he built a real dynasty there. Had as many students as the K-12 program. He became quite famous with the then State Superintendent of Schools, Delane Easton. They became very close because she had lots of time to spend with him, wanting to know how he collected and spent the money. So there was a lot of involvement there at that point. Then, while he was serving as the director of continuing education, leadership being a strong point of this person, he was asked to come in and serve as the assistant superintendent, interim assistant superintendent in charge of secondary, of which he did, and he got to spread his knowledge among the secondary. Not always real successful there, but he did pretty well. Anyway, then going on, another time he was asked to serve as the interim associate superintendent. Feeling that he'd probably done everything he could in the instructional side, moved him over to the business side of the operation. Now, the rumor is the business and the money, I know we always like to blame it on the states, the feds, and all that. But we did have a leader in that department for a short period of time. And that's when things decided to go the direction they are now. Now, this nominee, I'm sure, is not responsible for that. But his leadership held it in good stead for that period of time. And it was a lot better then than it is now, for sure. And then you've heard all of the other kinds of things that he's done as with the Board of Education. Anyway, the nominee for the best instructional leader. Don't have one.
Things up here already.
Oh, okay, thank you. Goes to a person in the social engagements that I've been, involvement that I've been with him over the last few years. I've always liked to introduce as my father. Dick Allen.